Hey everyone, this is your very favorite history teacher with another historical educational live. I had postponed this a week because of the College Directorate, Angela, Barbara, April. Teacher with another. Hold on, I have a feedback. Hold on, and because of the circumstances regarding George Floyd, his funeral was today here in Houston. Um, and a couple of my activist friends were able to go to the event. You can also look on, I believe, PBS, BET, also Roland Martin Live if were not able to catch his funeral. The family asked that Reverend Al Sharpton give the eulogy like he did in Minneapolis. He gave it here as well. He will be buried next to his mother in Pearland, which has Houston Memorial Gardens. It's a very nice cemetery. Okay. Hey, Betty. Hey, Christine. Hey, Barbara. Thank you, Barbara, for reminding them. Please hit the like button on the way in. I may have to make a couple more of you some mods because there are going to be some people who probably will either troll or who are homophobic or transphobic who might come in and just be ignorant. And the thing is, this whole live is so that you can be more informed after you leave. Okay? So, first, I'm going to go over, as you can see, there's a scroll going at the bottom. I'm also going to share a couple of websites and things. I've also put them in the description. And legit doctor, do me a favor. Can you please go over there and Facebook message Marcellus and Mad Church Disease? Where are they? I'm gonna have to get some new mods. They're not on their job. Okay, so please hit the like button on the way in, and just laying some groundwork. What I'm going over today is, like I said, educational, factual information that I've gathered, and historical information. Okay, this is not me giving my opinions on if LGBTQ people's lifestyle is against the Bible. That is a totally other discussion for another time. We're not getting into that. If we do get into that, it's going to be about stating what are some churches' stance on people who are LGBTQ and if there are LGBTQ friendly churches. Okay, but we're not getting into they're going to hell. We're not getting into that. Okay, we're just getting into the fact of how they're treated historically over time, how they fought for their rights. What do all these letters mean? Why are there so many different letters? Things of that nature. Okay. All right. So you got your notes, your popcorn, your drink, because I got a couple of film clips to show you as well. So first, we need to go over what the L in LGBTQIA means. Basically, the L stands for lesbian. Originally, in the modern gay rights movement, actually the G was first. And a lot of the lesbians got together and was like, hey, why are you gay men monopolizing the G? Because remember, we live in a patriarchal society. So it became, first it was GLTBA, then it switched to LGBTQIA. Okay, so L is for lesbian, gay is for gay. So it's a woman, whether trans or cisgender, who is sexually and romantically attracted to another woman. Okay. Some lesbians do take on traditional societal roles. Like one may be the quote unquote man, and the other one is the woman. In their circle, it's called the woman, they're usually called femmes, F-E-M, femmes for feminine. The ones who are more masculine, they're called masc, M-A-S-C, or sometimes they use this term Some are accepting of it, some are not, called a stud. Okay. So sometimes you will have a case where a femme and a stud are a couple. Sometimes you have two femmes who are a couple, or you have two studs who are couples. Sometimes they don't like those terms. So you got to always be careful about not saying the wrong thing, but you got to make sure that you are listening how they are identifying themselves. So you are not being rude. Just like blacks used to be, you know, colored, Negro, black, African American. Not everybody wants to be African American, but some people want to just like the term black. So same thing with Mexican American. Some of them don't want to be called Hispanic. They're Latino. It's based on the person you are talking to, how they want to be addressed. So read the room. You know, hear, listen, paying attention. Okay. When you come to the G, it could be either a gay man or a gay woman. And this is personally a gay man who, if you say G, thanks, man, trust disease. The G is either a gay man. If it's a gay man, it is a man who is sexually and romantically attracted to another man. And in the same case, they might have traditional societal roles. One is more feminine, and one is more masculine. If you remember the movie Birdcage, with Robin Williams. Remember Robin Williams' character, he was the dad. He was the masculine one. His spouse was the feminine one. So you might have that dynamic. But like I said, G also for gay women, it's, you know, the same thing. They're attracted to the person of the same gender. Okay, or sex. Okay. When you get into the T, initially the T actually stood for transvestite or transsexual, but just like you go from colored, Negro, black, African American, the same thing has happened. There are, I guess you say back in the day, anyone who was a drag queen was considered a transvestite. More commonly now, you don't say that. You would say if they are a drag performer, like on RuPaul's Drag Race, you would say they probably are a female impersonator, or they're, like I said, a drag queen. But they do that as a performance only. They don't do that in everyday life. Okay. If it's a transsexual, was another term that evolved. That is someone who actually had the surgery to go from one gender to the next. And so transsexuals actually could be male or female. You have what's called MFM, male to female. Okay. Then you have female to male. Okay. That means person who adopted a different sex. What is now evolved to is transgender. Okay. You can have a transgendered male and a transgendered female. Okay. And what that means is if you are identifying, for example, the most common that we know would be T.S. Madison. Okay. And actually the TS it's a stage name. TS stands for transsexual or trans. In her, I think she identifies as transsexual. She's actually said, I'm transsexual. So sometimes transgender people will say, I'm not transgendered, I'm transsexual. So like, hey, read the room. You know, they'll tell you what they want to be called. Okay. So in her case, she is male, born a male, physically a male, and transgendered and been transformed into a woman. She has even said on her show, I think it was the episode where Larry Reed was a guest, and she said, I'm a transgendered woman because I have not had my bottom surgery. Okay, for her, in her mind, she's a transgender woman. She is not female. Where you might have other transgender might say opposite. But okay, legit doctorate, that's like a stud, but we don't use those terms anymore because they're offensive. Just like we don't want white people using the N-word around us, LGBTQ people don't want us to be using the word, the butch word. Okay? Read the room. Okay. So, in her case, also there are what's called transgender. So in her case, she is a transgendered woman. She went from male to female. Okay. Then there are transgendered males or men, we would say, and they go from female to male. Okay. And we've already discussed one here in our sector in the previous video, so we don't need to go over that. The more well-known transgendered men, there's a activist on Instagram. His name is Teak, T-I-Q. I'll put it in the chat. T-I-Q Milan. He went from female to male. He actually got married. He married a queer or bisexual woman. Okay. Wait, did I skip over some letters? I think I did. I am so sorry. And they're going to be mad at me for doing that. I am so sorry. Let me fix that, y'all. I need to fix that. And a lot of them who are of that community, that happens a lot. They get passed over. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that. Please forgive me. Okay. So his name is Teak Milan. I follow him, and I also follow another. He's a deaf model, and he's a trans man. So he went from female to male. Sade's son is a trans man. Went from female to male. So those are the if you ever just go Sade, she's not on social, she's not on Instagram, but her son is. So if you ever want to know, and he actually details his whole experience, what he went through, telling his mother and everything. And so yeah, in order to do the gender this is the thing also to become transgender, in a sense, I guess you say the official way to get the gender reassignment surgery. One, you must see a psychologist or psychiatrist. They have to assess you as having some form. That's okay, Daryl. You've been working today. Glad you made it. They have they basically analyze and see if you suffer from what's called sex identity. What is it called? I can't. Dang it! It's on the tip of my tongue. I want to say sex identity disorder. That means I feel that those individuals who are transgender feel like they are in the wrong body, the body that they were assigned at birth. What's in their mind is female, but they might be male on the outside, or they might be male on the inside and be female on the outside. So they may see a psychiatrist. They or then say, okay, you have, sexual identity disorder, or you have body dysmorphia. And then they get evaluated, and then they can go to a medical doctor if they got insurance, or they get the money, and get what's called, if they're going from female to male, they're going to get top surgery. Because some transgendered men in the early stages, it's when you actually have the operation, it's transsexual. But some transgender people don't want to be called trans. And we'll get to in the closet and out of the closet stuff. So hold on, y'all. Then what ends up happening, they go to the medical doctor, either with their insurance or with their money, and they're wanting to become a man, they get the top surgery. They have to get a physical also and see if they also can have the bottom surgery. I don't know if you guys remember Sonny and Cher? Sonny and Cher had a daughter named Charity. Charity, a few years ago, I think in the 80s and 90s, identified as a lesbian, had a lesbian partner, came out like the late 90s, early 2000s, it might be early 2000s, and went through therapy, went to a medical doctor, and transgendered or transformed into Chad. So Charity Bono is no longer Charity, it's Chad Bono. Same thing with Caitlyn Jenner, used to be Bruce Jenner. But that's my feelings about him. I'm going to put that aside because we're talking about facts in history and education. Okay. So, however, that's for people who have the money or the insurance and supportive parents and a network that is going to help them get that. Because some parents, let's say you were a tomboy, if you're a girl, you're a tomboy, or if you're a girl, if you're a boy, they might call you the bad word, sissy. We don't say that anymore. That's not a nice word to say. That was them in their early stages of becoming who they were. Either they were gay, lesbian, or that was the earliest stages of them being transsexual, transgender. Also, there are a number of individuals who, because of genetics, when they were born, their genitalia was not defined. And so the doctor looks at the parents and is like, hey, we see their genitalia. We're not sure if they're supposed to be a girl or a boy, but hey, we can fix it. And then they literally are telling the parents, okay, y'all got to pick what y'all want. Is this a girl or a boy? And unfortunately, what has happened to like 1% or maybe less than 1% of people in the United States, most parents picked a boy, and then years later, their kid is having gender reassignment surgery or going to therapy because inside their parents picked the wrong sex. They're actually women. And I've actually seen some of them on, was it Sally Jesse Raphael? Or Jenny Jones or something like that. And so that has happened too. They've picked the wrong gender. And they say a lot of times most parents, I guess because remember, we live in a patriarchal society. Yes, Bruce Jenner's male to female, MTF. And Sade's son is F to M. And so, because we live in a patriarchal society, most parents pick the male and they picked wrong. You know, there have also been people, let me go back because I went to the T's and I forgot about the B's. And B's, I'm sorry. Because some of the B's feel like they don't get addressed. Because they feel like even within their own community, there's almost like a socioeconomic hierarchy, and sometimes they oppress each other. Just like in the African American community, we have some people who are they don't like dark skin, they don't like light skin. There are men who are sexist. There are feminists who are what do you call it? I can't think of what it is. Toxic, who are toxic females to men. Don't like it old or young. So the same in the LGBT community, a lot of times the L's feel like the G men don't respect them. They put them down because even though they're gay men and they date other gay men, they still act like straight guys and be jerks sometimes and discriminatory. But the G's and the L's feel like the B's need to make a decision. You're either gay or you're straight. You just can't be doing this fine line. And then sometimes also heterosexual people who like people of the opposite gender, they feel like the B's need to make a decision too. But for the B's, B is for bisexual. There are men who like men or women. They're sexually romantically attracted to men or women. And then there are women who are sexually attracted to women or men. And so sometimes the bisexual partner may end up with, for example, a bisexual woman may end up with a lesbian. A bisexual gay man may end up with another man. Or they may, what has happened in some cases, they have dated and married people of the opposite gender, and then later on in life, those people broke up, and then they were like, okay, and they became attracted to someone of the same sex. So it doesn't really matter for them. I believe, what's her name? The B's have also evolved into a new term. We're not talking about hermaphrodites. That is intersex. And I'm going to get to that later, legit doctorate. I know you're the GT student, but hold on. So what has happened, please hit the like button on the way in. And I can't think of her name. She's a singer, but now she's an actress. Janelle Monáe. Janelle Monáe identified as bisexual. Last year, she finally admitted that she's actually pansexual. Oh, we know you do, Daryl. we're not surprised. But do you like bisexual men though? Mm-hmm. Christine, they probably do want the best of both worlds, but probably in their minds, it's not about the person's sex. It says that, hey, I'm attracted. And that's what pansexuals, which Janelle Monáe now identifies as. She doesn't feel like their sex is irrelevant. It's their personality and their brain that she's attracted to. It doesn't matter if they are male or female. So pansexual is like, okay, it's just whoever male. It could be male or female. I'm attracted to you, your personality, But for true bisexuals, they are attracted to men and they are attracted to women. That's what. So then, okay, what else was I going to say about pansexuals? I can't think of it. It'll come back to me. Okay, so we're going to go to queer. Q for queer. Now, Q for queer gets it kind of depends on the individual, because some people who are the LGBT and T might feel like, oh, I don't identify as those. I'm a Q. I'm a queer person. I don't necessarily do what the straight people are doing. I don't necessarily identify as these traditional LGBT and Ts. I just feel like my identity is queer. I can make it whatever I want, but they definitely are not heterosexuals. Teak Milan's wife, who I think was identified as a bisexual, and she's married to her transgendered husband, who went from female to male. She actually identifies as queer. So there is actually a subset of LGBTs who's like, hey, I'm queer. And like I said, usually those people will tell you what they want you to call them. You don't necessarily have to ask. Okay, Daryl, we know. All right. Okay, we got that, sir. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So then we get to intersex. And I do believe we had one individual, I think his name is Joseph here? Joseph McHenry, who follows Daryl. I should have emailed him. I forgot the email. I'm doing it for another live. Yeah, they feel a connection with correct, Christine. They feel like if they have a connection with the individual and their personality, they are attracted at them. Intersex people are basically, like I said, they are actually a segment of the population who are born with both reproductive organs. So you might have someone who looks like a male on the outside, but below their waist, they have a vagina and a penis. They have what's called a uterus. Is it what do men call their I don't know. I'm not a stop it, Daryl. You're so silly. Legit doctorate. Legit doctorate. I love you, the love of the Lord. Am I gonna have to time you out? Please don't tell me I have to time out on my own mind. Okay. Okay now. All right. What was I thinking? Okay, so they're born with both. So they might have a uterus, basically, and male reproductive organs. And so, and that's the same thing. They may look female on the outside and still have it below them. They have both reproductive parts. And then, like I said, there are people who at birth pick their sex of their child, because the doctor does come in with intersex people too and say, hey, you are hold on, I'm getting some weird stuff. Make sure you hit the like button, please. Okay. Okay. we go. What I was going to say. I'm going to go back. Okay. So their appearance, like I said, the doctor comes in. He shows. Oh, Lord Jesus. I'm going to have to do this. I told y'all today. Don't make me do this. Okay. Okay. Oh, Lord. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, like I said, there are, like I said, parents will doctor come in and say, hey, your child has the reproductive organs of both male and females. And if they have the capability, they might make them choose. Like, hey, which one do you want? Do you want a girl or do you want a boy? And they do the operation right there. And then that person grows up and is thinking like, oh, I'm a girl. But then like, why do I have all this? Why do I feel like a boy all the time? And then they are trying to figure out what's going on with them. Then they go to the doctor, or their parents finally tell them, or they find out, or they look at their medical records and find out like, oh, I'm really supposed to be a female-looking intersex person, but you chose a different sex for me. I was reading one individual. He believed that he went to the doctor, did everything he's supposed to do to become transgendered and get the assignment surgery. Went to the medical doctor. They go to him and they're like, look, we did check up on you. You're not transgender. You're intersexed. And so for him in his mind, because he was going from male to female, he thought like, oh, I'm finally going to be a female. And they tell him he's intersex and he has both. And it's just like, now he has to go to therapy to adjust to the fact that you say, oh, I don't get to be female. I just get to have both parts of them, you know? So yeah. So there are people, it gets really complicated. Let me go back to say something about transgender. There are some people, because either one, they were not supported at home or school. Remember the conservative movement. Remember we live in a patriarchal society. There were certain neighborhoods and clubs that they could frequent. Some moved, changed their name under their new identity. However, yeah, BB, I'm not playing today. I meant what I said. We're taking it seriously. And now they having to hide. And in some cases, they have to hide because guess what? They are going to be attacked. In a lot of cases, murdered, burglarized, robbed, especially. And also, if you're living under a different gender or a name, how do you get ID? Social Security, birth certificate. Because your birth certificate is not the same as the one you're going now. So it's just, there's so many things that goes into that. And also because some of them have a problem getting a job, because there's also job discrimination. But now we have laws against that now. Okay, hold on. Let me get to that one in a minute, because that's a good question. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so and let's say they got kicked out of their house. They had to go find a job. No one's hiring them because they look different or they sound different. Because I had a classmate since the first grade. He was twitching. I know he was gay then. He's still gay now. So people say, "Oh, you're not born that way." Well, I think some of them in the LGBT community, like, yeah, they know. I think some parents even know. Like, yeah, I think my kid. But then some parents are like trying to beat it out of you, trying to get you in the church to get it out of you. And then some parents are just like, okay, I'm gonna just wait till he tell us when he figure it out. Okay. Then some, because they know their parents are very judgmental, they just hide it their whole lives. And if you're also in cultures like the Black community, Hispanic, or even the Asian community, that's a big no-no. I had some classmates at Teachers College in Columbia, and I did this talk, which I may try to see if I can bring that to my YouTube live. It's called Talk to Me to Know Me. And I had different people who are in the LGBT community, and the talk was living in a straight world. And they came in and talked about how it was like for them to live in an everyday life in a straight heterosexual form, mostly world. And so I had a lesbian woman who was in a relationship. I had a Latino disabled man, gay man, and then I also had an Asian man who literally, I'm not saying he was so in the closet that you didn't know where the closet was, what house it was in. It was just like he was so deep in the closet because in his culture there is no word for gay or lesbian or any of those terms. And he said in his family, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get married, have kids of your own. The culture, especially East Asian cultures, very family oriented. And if you're, say I'm gay, it's like, and even in, I had a friend, she was Caribbean and she was a lesbian. And she said, yeah, my mom thought this was an American thing because she was like, we're from the Caribbean. We don't do that. She thought it was an American philosophy. It's like, no, there are LGBTQ people all over the world. And so if you get kicked out your house or can't get a job or keep a job, then how are you going to get money for reassignment surgery? How are you going to have go to the doctor? So what ends up happening, you have things like they go into prostitution, become strippers. Some of them do. And then some of them also go to Mexico to get, reassignment, either take the breasts off or get some on. Bottom surgery is very expensive, more than top surgery. Then they start doing things to their bodies to make them look either more male or more female. Okay. And unfortunately, sometimes that gives them to things like fake silicone in their butts or their hips, and it's like literally killing them. So and also that is also why there's such a high death rate for transgender people out of all the people in the LGBTQIA community, because like I said, there are L's and G's who think the T's are just taking the shit too far. Sorry to say that there are heterosexuals who like, y'all taking it too far. And then because of our homophobic and transphobic society, people become violent towards them. And so become easy prey, either by other members of their own community, by heterosexual people, by the police. Because if they call 911 and say, oh, I got beat up by a group of men, how are they going to, do you think they're really going to take them seriously? No. And so actually, okay, legit. I don't know what that has to do with what we're talking about. Okay, legit doctorate. Just rest your fingers, okay? All right. Okay. Okay. So right now, last year there were 26 Black transgender women who died from murder, either by a partner, someone who was homophobic or transphobic, or if they were engaged in prostitution from a John or a pimp. Okay. And so this year, I think at least it's been 12. So there are actually Black and Latino trans rights activists because even within the LGBTQ community, they're discriminated against by the other people in the alphabet. Then on top of that, the white T's are racist. So it's like, dang, they really having it bad. And then, and that's why you see some cases like, activist here in Houston, her name is Monica Roberts. She has, I put the link in the description, and she's a trans rights activist, because so many of them are murdered like literally every year. And it's like the average mortality rate for them is like 33. And that is ridiculous. And then also, if they get arrested, which jail do they go to? There was one transgender transgender woman who was able to get someone's cell phone and let them see what happened to her, because they put her in the unit where she was assigned as a man at birth. And that was not who she was. And she was getting physically attacked. So now jails have to make allowances. They have to have a section for their transgendered members too. So it's just, it gets really, really complicated. And then I'm not even getting into, like I said, like they're doing all the letters of the alphabet are dealing with, like I said, sexism, homophobia, transgenderism, phobia. They're doing the job discrimination. Right now, a lot of schools and workplaces, including myself, we had to take Title IX training and Title VII that says you cannot discriminate against someone based on their race, religion, ethnicity, sex, or gender. Remember, sex is about the physical body you were born with and assigned to at birth. You being a woman or a man, that is a gender. So some people who are transgender, they were assigned male at birth, but they were they feel here that, oh, yeah, I was born a male, but in my brain it says woman, and so they seek to fix it. But that also comes not only with, like I said, job discrimination, discrimination from their family members, also from the church, and so. Yeah, because it's Pride Month. It's kind of like Black people doing Black History Month, or when it's Cinco de Mayo for Mexican Americans. Like, oh, we all love each other, we all get along. But like deep down, like behind closed doors, when we don't see them, they got a lot of stuff going on. If you want to see a really good representation of that, watch a series called Pose. It comes out every June. They've had 2 seasons so far. They come on, if you have cable, on the FX channel. I'm actually going to show you a scene that's very, very good. Okay. Miss MW50 had a good question. She said, do they have to start hormone therapy early to suppress the hormone related to sex identity choose at birth? Okay. It depends on the person. And like I said, the support of their family or not. Because some people, some transgender people actually, like I said, they go get the knockoff stuff off the street, or men might go get estrogen and buy it themselves so they can transform into a woman because they can't afford it or their parents are not going to help it. So a lot of them may start in their teens and then continue on into their 20s and 30s. Now, there is one family who's they're just so supportive, but I disagree with. She has a reality show called My Life with Jazz, Jazz, and her family, since I can think 3 or 4 years old, she is identified as a girl or a little girl, and then now a young teenage female woman, I guess. And so, and they showed her and her family going to the doctor, them telling her, hey, this is what's going to happen to you if you get on these hormones. Because she was actually young. Like, it was like she was in middle school and they were considering that. And I actually think, okay, from a sociological perspective, I think middle school is too early. because your body is still developing. I feel like more like a 17 or 18-year-old, maybe even 19. Maybe you should do it in 21, because then that's when everybody gets to drink, smoke, and gamble. But then you can vote at 18. So I don't know. Then me too, BB Burton, I do too, love it. Then that's why I don't think middle school and elementary is the place to start hormone therapy. I think it should be either high school and up. Because also if you get these street, and the thing is, if you get these street drugs to transform into a woman or to a man, because there are girls who take testosterone, so their breasts will go flat and they get facial hair and their voices get deeper. I just think, if you get the wrong thing, you may die. That's my only concern about that. So yeah, I think, even if you, let's say later on in life, you're in your 20s and 30s, even 40s, you realize, you know what, I'm really not in the right body. And you start taking the hormones. If you can afford it, you can still do it. That's what Chaz Bono did. He didn't become a man until he was in like late 30s, early 40s. Yeah, and you saw with Jenner, she got it at 5 years old. You know what? I'm not her parent, so that was not my call. I thought she had got it in middle school. I didn't know it was 5 years old. That's I'm not that person's child, but I would historically and socially, I wouldn't have done it that early. But yeah. Okay. What is okay? Let me see. Okay. Christine had a very good sentence. I thought they all got along because they always say my community and gay pride. I thought so too. Until, like I said, I had that. I agree, Daryl. When I did the Talk to Me to Know Me in New York as part of it was an educational series that I was doing. That's when I realized, like, oh, y'all all don't have the same experience. Like, you might be discriminated against by the straights or the heterosexual people, but amongst your own community, y'all got some stuff going on over here. And I even took classes, history classes, education classes, where they've said, hey, like some of the men were very sexist against the women. And then the women didn't feel like, oh, you guys are not listening to us. Are you expecting us to do these traditional male, female roles? And we're just like, we're not doing that. And then, bisexual, and then, like I said, transgender, queer, more letters being added to the alphabet than there was before. And then also you get, not only got to deal with your sexual orientation, your gender, if you're a man or a woman, then on top of that, if you're Black, Latino, or Asian, it's like, okay, you might have complex problems. So when people say in the Black community, oh, you're Black before you're gay, not necessarily. Sometimes when they see you, they see both of you. Okay? And if we say Black Lives Matter or Brown Lives Matter, we mean everybody in the community, not just because, the straight heterosexual people. Okay? Yes, they do have a high rate of suicide because they are not accepted by their parents or their community. Before, teachers, I think in the 90s, had training. Teachers and especially religious figures were very homophobic and transphobic to LGBTQ students. And I noticed that in the last 10 years that I was teaching school, it has evolved in, like I said, we had to take Title VII and Title IX training, and on how we treat our students, and also about confidentiality. I've had students who were L's, some were G's, some B's, and I had some T's as well, as students, colleagues, and as classmates. And I actually started thinking about my whole high school experience, my whole educational experience. There was always someone in my class who was, and also in my family. I mean, if we all think about it, hey Jacqueline, hey Dog Cigar, there was always someone who was a part of that community. And depending on how our family or whoever's family acted, is how there are certain things that were not accepted. Like my family, for the most part, we knew who the gay members of the family were. We treated them with respect. But when they wasn't there, you did hear whispers like, "Oh, he's, oh, it was someone in the church and they died." And like the first time I knew about the Metropolitan Church was my aunt. This guy was one of her students in her Sunday school. He died, and we didn't go to the Baptist church to have his funeral. We went to this other church, and I was like, "Oh, what kind of church is this? This is really nice." And she said, "Oh, this is they allow gay people in here." And that's when I first learned about that there were churches that accepted gay people, and then there were those like the Baptist one I had that did not. You know, so oh, I'm sorry, we're getting to the A's. A's are kind of like you are not talked about. Um, they're the newest. They say the newest kids on the block. They're asexual, and I didn't know. Really, I had to really read up on this and look at some videos. There are some videos about ask a asexual person. An asexual person has no romantic or sexual attraction to any male or female or anybody that is above on the LGBTQIA spectrum. It's like with them, let's say you are a person that is heterosexual and you like an asexual person, they will never, most often, reciprocate romantics or sexual feelings to you because they do not have them towards you. They basically you're friend zoned forever with them, unless they make like a sincere effort to be romantic and loving and all that that comes with that, because for them they don't feel it that way. So I don't know else how to explain that. um and like some like like I thought the B's, that the A's are even more left off. you know and then sometimes the G's, if you're gay, you like another asexual person and they happen to be the same sex, they're not reciprocating it because they're not attracted to you. They're not attracted to anybody. They're not even attracted to other A's. It don't even go. It just, hey, um, you know. So I'm just saying. Um, there may let's talk a little bit about. Hold on. Hey, I'm on live right now. Okay. Okay. Sorry, that was my friend. Can y'all hear me? Okay. Um, there are things called. Hold on. Trying to tell my friends what am I doing? I have a lot of friends in education. They just now on summer break. Before, I wouldn't be even getting anything from them right now, but they all at home. Okay. All right. Please hit the like button as you come on in. It says I have, uh, okay. Yeah, I think so too, BB. I think they've always been around. Like I said, we all know a person in this community all our lives. If we really think about it, someone in our class, someone in our family, a teacher, um, someone in our church that just was in the closet about it. There's also something new too. We talk about the word transgender. Okay, I'm gonna write that. I think I'm using this. Okay. Okay. So what ends up happening is, like we said, a person is transgendered, a person who changed their gender from the one they were assigned to at birth to another one. And that's usually as saying they're transgender. Then we say, oh, you're a transgender woman, transgender man. The the man or the woman that's at the end of that word, that's what they are now. That's what we're supposed to refer to them as now. If you don't know what a person's and with that comes with pronouns. So if they are a transgendered man, then you should be using he, his, and him. Okay. I'll put that in the okay. If it was a transgendered man, you should be using he, his, him. Now I will say this. If you get confused and you're not quite sure, just refer them as their name by their name. That is easy. Okay. If it's a transgendered woman, it is she, her. Wait, is it she and her? Is there another one? Missing something? She and her. Okay. Oh, so men get 3 words? That's messed up. Am I just my brain spazzing? Okay. Okay. If it is a transgendered woman, like if, for example, T.S. Madison, we say she or her. If you're not sure or you're confused, you keep slipping up, or you just refuse to go to, because there are people like this, you just refuse to refer to them as this new pronoun because you're like, oh, the God made them this way. I'm not going to change. Be respectful. Use the pronouns, or if not, use their name. Just use their name. Okay. However, there are some individuals who are what's called non-binary. Either they are gender fluid or rather not be referred to as a man or a woman. Okay. Yes, never say it. That's not. It's proper pronouns or their names. Okay. There are a group of people within the LGBTQIA, and a lot of them are Qs. They prefer the pronoun they or them. They're binary. They're either gender fluid. They may look like a woman one day. They may look like a man another. They may be androgynous looking. You're like, it could be a man or a woman. There's actually a model born a female, and actually when I think she uses they pronoun. When they what? Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get to that question. Doc Sigomar was a very good question. This model, I can remember their name. Yeah, they, they're, them. She's born a female, but when she goes to model, she does women or men because she's gender fluid or non-binary. The closest person to non-binary that I can think of as an example that y'all could say, okay, I see they were kind of gender fluid. Think about Prince. You had a man who wore makeup. Sometimes he had a beard. Sometimes he had a fro. Sometimes his hair was laid. And he always wore pumps. But he always had the bad bitches. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, how he wearing pumps, but he got all the women's? And if you heard one of his songs said, I'm not a woman, I'm not a man, I'm something that you never understand. And you're like, oh, okay. And I don't know if that was just, I think part of it, maybe it was sexual identity, but for him, he identified as a cisgendered male. Like, hey, I was born a male at birth. I'm a male up here. I like women, but he just, he likes to do all the other stuff. Think about some of the rock stars. David Bowie. He has the most beautiful woman in the world married to him. But the stuff he wore in the 70s, early 80s, you were like, Ziggy Stardust? Wow. BB Burton. Hold on. Okay. All right. I'm going to go back and answer. Yeah, Grace Jones used to do some very gender bending, binary fluid hairstyle, like the flat top with the look like she had a coat, but her but then she posed for Playboy. And I'm sorry, Grace Jones is 70 years old. She looks damn good now. She was at some type of model show somewhere in France, and she came out, and I was like, oh my goodness, to look like that at her age? Okay, someone had a question. What was the question? Okay. Doc Cigar, I don't know if you were here when I went over this. Okay. Remember, I said in order for a person to become a transgender woman, they must, and the same thing for women, they ones who are assigned at birth, you must go to a doctor, a psychologist, psychiatrist. You get diagnosed with sex identity disorder, or no, it's not sex identity disorder because sex means you have a problem. Okay, I may be saying it wrong. Body dysmorphia. Okay. Then they let you go to a medical doctor. They give you a physical, and they decide on, okay, we're going to either have breast done, top done, or bottom, or both. Because you got to be very careful, and the person's body has to be ready for this surgery. Some can't have the bottom surgery because of some type of, you might die on the table. In other cases, it's like, well, you might not be able to feel anything even if you did get the bottom surgery. So it's like, wait, you did all this to become a woman, get a vagina, and then the vagina don't work right like it's supposed to. So it's like, but then some still get it. T.S. Madison, in her case, she said she's not getting the bottom surgery, and this is her opinion, and I guess I'm using the pronoun her. She said, I like getting my dick sucked. Because if she gets the bottom surgery, there's a percent chance that the new vagina, they actually flip the pink, they cut, well, men, you might want to just mute me right now. They take the penis, they split it, and they make it into a vagina. So if they get that done, some of them, there's an off chance that she will not be able to get any sexual gratification with a new vagina. And so some people are like, I don't know if I want to chance that. I'll just not get the bottom surgery. Same thing with women going from female to male. Going from female to male, the bottom surgery is even more complicated. And there hasn't been too many successful gender reassignment surgery from like having a vagina to having a penis. I think Chaz Bono, when he had his, he was actually in a relationship. I think he was married. And he ended up having, I don't know if it was like sex therapy or like mental therapy, but he broke up with his girlfriend or his wife and had to go to therapy because he was trying to adjust to having a penis now. So, and he, like I said, he has the money to do it. So, and plus, also it depends on money. Maybe you don't have no money for the bottom surgery. That's why some people go to different countries and get stuff done. Also, there are a segment of the population. How can I say this? How can I say this? Yeah, she. You know, her brother is Noel Jones, Grace Jones. Her brother's Noel Jones is a minister. Hey, Lynn. Yeah, Lynn Prince. Am I black or white? Am I straight or gay? Controversy. Okay, there are men that dresses like a woman to work, but dress like a boy daily. What do you mean by this, BB Bird? You talking about drag queens? Or some who like they dress, huh? Hi, Ebony. I don't know, Dog Cigar. I was thinking I have to look that up. Either he got some type of transplant on that, but they're supposed to be able to like take his vagina and transform it into a penis. And I don't know if something happened. And then also I was gonna say, yeah, BB Bird, what do you mean right here? I don't know what you're saying right here. What do you mean? Hey, Life is Lay. Please hit the like button on your way in. Please share this. Also, I was going to say this. If you have people in your family, I don't know. If you have people in your family who are, let's say, really always got a lot of questions for the gay or LGBTQI relatives, send them this video so you can let those LGBTQIA members of your family rest. They tired of y'all, these straight people, asking them questions. Y'all got Google. Like, I'm a teacher, so this is a teachable moment. But some of them are tired. It's just like when white people tell black people, oh, well, teach us how not to be racist. I don't have time on my hands for this. That is a big thing to do. BB, did you tell me what you meant? Did I miss it? Huh? Okay, because I'm going to go. Yeah. Oh, what I was also going to say was, also there are people in the LGBTQIA community. Now there are gay men who are not attracted to transgendered women. And they're like, yeah, I know you still got a penis, but you dress like a woman. I'm not attracted to that. Then there are transgender women who are still attracted to women. So it's like, okay, are y'all straight or y'all lesbians now? It's, like I said, in Sikh Milan's case, he was born with a vagina. He became a transgender man. He did not have the bottom surgery, but he's married to a queer woman. That, like, it can get complicated, A matter of fact, his wife couldn't carry the baby, and I think he carried it because he still had his inside parts, Why was Jazz disrespectful to her family? However, there are some cisgendered men, straight men, who like transgender women. They like, what's his name from Why Did I Get Married? Malik Yoba. He's a little problematic because I didn't know, later on I found out that he's attracted to transgender women. But he's problematic because he actually, when he was on New York Undercover, she doesn't feel like she is carrying her family and she is famous. But this is the thing. There are child stars who feel the same way. Like, oh, my family, this job I do is helping me to support my family. Because they're getting a check for her being a reality show and a transgender teenager. And maybe she just felt like one time, like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. And they're like, but how are we going to pay these bills? And so, like, it could be looking like, from us looking out, like, oh, they're very supportive. Or are they actually pushing this agenda? Because sometimes Tank doesn't count because he's what's called, there's actually another Q, I didn't want to go there. It's called quizzitive, questioning. And so Tank questioned it 2 times. Like, oh, okay. This penis thing is not for me. I like vagina. He moved on. Malik Yoba still likes transgender women. The problem I have with him is he slept with transgender teenage prostitutes when he was on New York Undercover. So it's like, dude, and he knew that they were underage. So it's like, wait a minute. Like, oh, okay. Oh, she was like acting like a diva. Okay. Mm-hmm. There's some Brady child stars out there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, you talking about the gay men, some dress like men. Oh, at home, like at home in their daily life, when they're able to, oh, those are drag queens. Like Flame Monroe does that. Like every day he just dresses like a dude. When he goes to work, he dresses like a woman. Now I was gonna say something about Flame Monroe. I'll actually drag performers and female performers. When they're in their regular clothes, they usually prefer the pronoun he or him or his. When they are in drag, the pronoun is she or her. And usually they have another Daryl, behave now. Behave. um and usually they have a drag name. RuPaul, by the way, didn't have to change into a drag name. His mama named him RuPaul. Usually if but the others on Drag Race, you can see that they have a different their drag name is different from their real name. Like Funky Geneva, when he's in drag, like when he's not in drag, he's Quincy. No, he's Quentin, sorry. When he's just, regular, he's Quentin. But when he's dressed up in drag, he's Funky Geneva, Ross the boss. And I forgot what Flame Monroe's real name is. I mean, the one on the license. Mm-hmm. Okay, Dog Cigar. I'm sorry, I did not like that comment. And so I removed it. And this is what I'm going to say to that. Because remember, we're dealing with historical facts, education, social, all that stuff. Yeah, that deceased, and that proves a really good my next point. There is no gay agenda. If it is, it has not succeeded because some of us, there's still a lot of straight people out there in the world. Most TV shows has at least one gay character, just like they have one Hispanic character, one Asian, or one black. And then they might do a twofer. You might be the black and gay character. You might be the Hispanic and gay character, and you might be a lesbian. So they got them all three, so they can take care of it. The thing is, just like African Americans, Native Americans, Mexican Americans, all of those different movements had a civil rights movement of their own. And they realized, like, oh, this is what all those other groups did to get attention and get their rights. So they're going to do it too. Okay? So please, and there's a really good, I should have put it in here, video by Funky Geneva who really explained. She said, the only agenda gay people have is that they want to be treated just like the heterosexuals. They want to go out to their mailbox, get their mail, and go back into their house. They want to go to the store without being disturbed. They want to have a party at their house without the nosy neighbors calling over to their house. They want to go somewhere and not get murdered or discriminated on their job. There is no gay agenda. That is toxic masculinity and also toxic femininity. And it's also, we can say it is also a mad church disease. Because they want to split things at the Bible, like, oh, they have this agenda. And also these pro-black consciousness people want to say, oh, the gay people have an agenda. No, they want to be, they're tired of being disrespected. Yeah, Holiday Heart did reveal a lot because, like I said, about discrimination and rights. Some states, and I didn't have time to get to that, some states, same-sex partners, before same-sex marriage was allowed, you could not, a same-sex couple could not go somewhere and purchase a car together, but a heterosexual married couple could. Same thing for insurance. If a person died and you put like, well, who's the next of kin? You couldn't put your partner. You can now. And so that person died, and then here comes the family leaving you out of all the plans, or only referring to you as, oh, that's Uncle Ted's roommate, Marvin, or that's Aunt Sheila's roommate, Ethel, or something like that. I'm just saying up some names. Yeah, things like that. And also you have to realize also, because of, we live in the Deep South, and also because of, conservative laws, because of religion, a lot of laws, what's called sodomy laws, were passed. And in Texas, for example, we had a sodomy law on the books up until the early 1980s. It actually went to the Supreme Court, called Lawrence versus Texas. A black and white man were in their bedroom minding their own business, having sex. One of the members of the house went to the payphone, called the police on them, didn't call them for having sex, called them because he's like, oh, someone stole my wallet. The police show up. And the other guy's like, oh, they're up there, they took my money. And mind you, you don't have a warrant, but hey, probable cause. They go into the home and they open the bedroom and they see two men in bed and then arrest them for violation of a sodomy law. They were, even in my somewhat conservative mother and my aunt, when I was young when this happened, they were like, they were minding their own business in their own house. They weren't bothering nobody. And that's the truth. They're not bothering anybody. And so actually, when the law went to the Supreme Court, it actually overturned a lot of states' sodomy laws. You couldn't just throw a person in the jail because of their sexual orientation. They had what's called, I believe it's Ninth Amendment, right to privacy. You have right to privacy. Okay. That's correct. Yeah, that's their own agenda. They just want to live like all the heterosexuals. And that's why I have a problem too with heterosexual. Oh, it's like, even my brother said this one time. Oh, it's Adam and Steve. It's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. I'm like, dude, the Bible says flee fornication. Are you fleeing fornication? He's like, not all the time. I'm like, okay then, just take care of your own sins. Don't worry about nobody else. There ain't no commandment. But that's just, sorry, didn't mean to go into beliefs, to just say the facts. Okay. All right. Dog Cigar, you had a comment earlier about they have an agenda. And I'm saying this is the only agenda they want. This one right here. This is the one they want. Just like them people, like them Karens that's been bothering Black and Latino people, and they really just want heterosexuals to mind their business. Mm-hmm. And also someone said, why are they so angry or rude or correcting you? Because they look different or act different, and they're always getting the same questions from everybody. Like, people can't Google or have family members or... Exactly. Mind your own business. Oh, Marcus Parker. Yeah. Thank you, Dana. Wait, what? You said something about an agenda, Dog Cigar, in your question. Yeah, yes, they do push this agenda just like they pushed Harvard. What did you mean? Did I misspeak? Did I not understand that, Dog Cigar? What did you mean by that? I'm sorry. I apologize if I didn't understand that correctly. Can you explain what you meant? I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean to. While she's writing her thoughts, what do you do when a family wants you to call them king and they're a woman? Okay. That's actually their name that they want you to call them? Okay, Ebony. Life is late. Oh, you're talking about Jazz. They pushed her to go to Harvard against her will. Oh, I am so sorry, Dog Cigar. I should have asked you what you meant before. I just assumed that's what you mean. I apologize, and I'm so sincerely sorry. I did not mean to do that. Okay. But a lot of parents, especially foreign parents, they do that too. They always force their kids, like, oh, you're gonna go to Harvard, Yale, or Stanford. Those are your choices. No way. Or go to my alma mater. No place else. So I guess they figure like, hey, we supported you this whole time in your transgenderism. You're gonna go to Harvard. So I don't know. So sorry for the misunderstanding, Dog Cigar. What do you do when he wants you to call them king and they're a woman? Okay. You call them king. Hey, king. How you doing, king? Is that their name that they are officially going by or referring to, and they prefer the he, him, his pronouns? Life is lay. Can you make me understand? Life, life is lay. Why? Sorry, that was Tanika. Uh, okay. Okay. Let me just. Okay. Let me just. Oh, they should let her go to Paloma. I do think Harvard does have like a queer studies or like a club or whatever, but if Paloma has where she's more accepted, then that's where she could go. She can get her grads at Harvard. She did a good bachelor's foundation. Okay. Okay. Dog Cigar. We talked about this. Mm-mm-mm, mm-mm-mm, mm-mm-mm. Okay. All right. So the question that Life is Lay said, her sister is named Regina. Hold on. Let me go back up. Okay. Her sister's name Regina, and my sister, and she wants her to call her a king. I said, hell no. Okay, and then you said, what did you say after that? Okay. Oh, she ain't got no money. But like I said, there are people who are transgender. They don't have the money or the insurance to do it. And they're doing the best they know how, binding their breasts, wearing certain clothing, hairstyles. They can get name changes. Some states will let you change your gender on paper. Um, okay, you just said what I said earlier. My life is a lay. You're saying exactly what I said about transgender. She was assigned. She was assigned a female body at birth, but in her mind, it doesn't say female woman. It says I'm a man, and that's why they usually, like I said, go to a psychologist, psychiatrist, then go to a medical doctor, and then they can have the top surgery or the bottom surgery if they can. And you saying she's broke because it does cost money or insurance to get those things done. But I will say this. She asked you to do one thing, to call her king. And remember when I said earlier, if you can't say he or she, or he, him, or his, call them by their name. And the one that Regina wants to be called now is king. Does king dress like a man? Life is late. Okay, my life is like we might have to talk offline. Hey, I'm Tanika. No, we understand you were sleepy. You were not feeling well. Who? Okay. You said she's trying to be. Okay, why do you think she's trying to pimp the women in your family? I'm totally confused. Oh, that is so sad. This old cigar. She gonna need to go to her doctor. She might have to separate from her family. It's becoming a really codependent relationship. Life is like, how long has King been wanting to be king? Stop it, there. This is serious. Life is like, trying to be serious around here. Stop that foolishness. Life is like, can you tell me how long King? How long has Regina wanted to be king? Is this recent? Is it since high school, middle school, since childhood? Was she ever married? Had kids? Got a divorce? Had an accident? I need some background information. Okay, life is like, what are you saying yes to? Which parts are you saying yes to? Please hit the like button. Life is like, do you feel comfortable coming on the stream? Okay, I'm waiting. Also, like legit doctor had mentioned earlier, there are high rates of suicide amongst members of the LGBT community because one, like they're not accepted by their family or their friends, have a hard time in school, um, not in the right body that they feel like. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out something like what's going on. Like, okay, when I said she's broke not because she wants to have the surgery, but because she's pushing this issue. We accept her for who she is. But when you want us to call you king, I don't understand that. Okay, but if in her mind she's a man, is she dressing like a man? Okay, love is I love Christ. Everyone, please keep I love Christ in prayer. Her best friend, one of her best friends, died. Please keep her in prayer and her friends' kids in prayer. Okay, you just said what a lot of transgender people want. Pronouns and names are important to them. So if you saying you just said she wants to have the cert, it's not because she wants to have the cert, but she's pushing this issue because we accept her for who she is. You say yes, I can, but I'm not calling her king. Well, you not calling her king is actually not accepting her for who she is. You understand that? Do you really understand that? By you not calling her king, you are actually saying you are not accepting her for who she is. Okay, what did you say? Okay. Be called a king of the man because the king might have to take care of you so keep your bills paid. Okay. I understand. So you're looking at, okay, I can understand that. Let me ask this question. What other name has King wanted to be called by besides King? Oh, wait. King got married to a woman or a man? Hmm. This is getting complicated. Oh, only came out the closet last year. Got married to a woman or to a woman? Yeah, COVID's been around, and then them governors started uh, opening states in May. We're gonna pray for you, I love Christ. Wait, hold on, Lights of Clay. What's that? Oh, this king. This is getting complicated. What is going on? Mm-hmm. Thank you, I love Christ. What? What do you mean? Let that man go with the woman? Sorry, she just walked in. Oh, your sister just King walked in. Okay, so you can't talk no more. Let me ask this question: Does King dress like a man? Stereotypically like a man. Hey, Kelvin. Sorry, glad you're here. No. Life is like seriously. Does she dress like a woman or a man? I got questions. I'm trying to. Can she use an 80? What are you trying to say, Doc Cigar? Yes, she dresses like a man. Okay. Has King ever said, I want to have gender reassignment surgery? Hmm. Please hit the like button if you have not. Please, if you can support my laptop fund. Okay. Avatar? What do you mean Avatar, dog cigar? Are you is a spell check? Life is like, you can't keep us hanging like this. We got you said she dresses like a man. Does she want to have the surgery? Our dog is doing some weird stuff. He had a husband and 5 kids? Oh, I'm sorry, Life is like, do give me a call or message me because I really do want to help you with this. My thing is, if she is no longer married to her husband and is now with a woman, dresses like a man, and wants to have surgery, um, then you might have to, and let's say even change her identification. Okay, I'm gonna call you King. But if you got to have a real honest conversation, like, hey, are you going to have identification surgery? Are you going to have gender you're going to get say, are you going to have top surgery? Ask her, are you going to have top surgery? And are you going to change your name legally? And if Regina says no to both of those things, then you're calling her Regina. Because that means she's not serious. Wait, she's still married to the man? Where the husband at? Did he know? She got all these women on the side? She's 37. Oh no, see. Okay. I was thinking like she was 50 or something. Okay. So she's 37, married with 5 kids. And is she living with the husband? Y'all put in addition to I love Christ, y'all need to put Life is Lay on the prayer list too. Because her sister sounded I might need to get a professional on this next one. This is getting deep. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. I'm here trying to be a pimp with a whole husband and 5 kids. Mm-mm-mm. I don't know what's going on. Life is like, you still there? No? Okay. Okay. If Life is Lay, I think she said she had to go. So we have to be to be continued because I got some questions. The only thing is if she's still married to a man and have 5 kids. Maybe you can call her Regina King. Like, hey, Regina King, how you doing? I don't know. But it doesn't sound like her sister is trying to be serious and like go all the way. Like, you want to be called king. You dress like a man. Well, you're gonna have top surgery. And have you been to the doctor? Yeah, y'all keep Life is Lay in prayer too. Hey, King. Oh, King is going to have the top surgery and change her name? Okay. Is she going to have the top surgery to remove her breasts and change her name legally? We wait. I guess there's a delay. Okay. There are people who have named their children King, though. I had a friend. I had a. What if you called her Reggie, like short for Regina, but Reggie? Is it the name choice? Okay, call me. We gonna have to get down to the nitty gritty of this. We're gonna keep praying for Life is Lay and Life is Lay and her sister Regina King and I Love Christ. Any other questions y'all have? Because I'm willing to answer them. Like, seriously, I want this to be like a teachable moment. I want this to be something like you can download later. If someone has some question, you're like, oh, go watch this. It's going to explain a whole lot to you, you know. And if you are a member of the LGBTQIA community and you're just not telling us, you can give them this video for those straight family members that keep asking you a whole lot of damn questions. You're just tired. Because, you know, I know it gets aggravated. Because I know sometimes I get tired of asking all the black questions or the black questions. Okay, Life is Lay. Okay. Okay. So you want to talk to me offline, but not on the air, right? Okay, because I'll talk to you after this. Yeah, I like Reggie too. Hey, Reggie. Hey, Reggie. Regina, you know, I don't know. There are some other things I had wanted to tell you guys too. I don't know. Maybe I need to do a part 2 to this because we're almost at 2 hours. Because I didn't even get into. Maybe that does need to be a whole nother video, like for next Tuesday. Oh, and I can go over the Stonewall riots in 1969, and I can show y'all some film clips too. Okay, I might have to change that. But when I was saying also about high rates of suicide, there's also high rates of, like I said, job discrimination, and other type of discrimination. And also, like, you know, I said family. But there have been several high-profile murders. Okay, Matthew Shepard in 1998 was on his way back from the gay club and got attacked by 2 men. They are currently on serving 2 life sentences. Them and the James Beard family, they have a hate crime bill that is named after both of them that was signed by Obama in 2009. Hey, April, girl, you missed a lot today. You gonna have, but we still in some good stuff. Don't worry. And I might be doing a part 2 to this. Okay. Murder of Scott Amadeir. I don't know if y'all remember the Jenny Jones reality show in the 90s, 1996. Scott Amador went on Jenny Jones and basically said, "Oh, that's nice. That's really nice, April. Pray for April. Put I love Christ and Life is Late on the prayer list. They going through some stuff right now." Uh, uh, Scott Maduro went on Jenny Jones and said he had a crush for Jonathan Smith, and he told the guy like, "No, I'm 100% heterosexual." They just like, went out later, just having some drinks or whatever. And I guess Scott Amador still told him like, "Hey, I still like you like that." And Jonathan didn't like it, went and got a shotgun and shot him. He's actually he was sentenced to jail in 1997. He got out 2 years ago in 2017. Okay. Like I said, Black trans women had the highest number of death rates. Last year was 26. I think that number should actually be higher, and at least 12 so far this year. 1993, there was Brandon Tina. She was a transgendered man. Was dating a girl in Wyoming. She ended up going to jail, but they put her in the women's section. And when his girlfriend showed up, she was like, "Why are you in the women's section?" That's when he had to tell her like, "Oh, I'm born a woman, naturally born a woman." And so he had 2 other male friends, and they raped and murdered him, and they're still serving time in jail. They'll basically never get out. They lost. I think they did all their appeals. The most recent one, remember 2016, the Orlando nightclub. This man who was a closeted homosexual, but he was married, and I guess he didn't get. I guess he got rejected. Comes back to the club and shoots 49 people. They died and 53 were wounded. And I remember like a lot when this happened. And this is the thing. This was their club and their environment. Yeah, that's what they say, but that's not. You went to the store or whatever and bought. I'm still live. Who is on my phone calling me? I'm still live. If Pamela, I'm still live. I can't talk to you unless you want to come on the stream. We can talk after the show. Oh, what was that guy's name that killed them? They killed Matthew Shepard or killed Brandon Tina? No, this is what it is. The man was like, they went out to drink, say, "Hey, it's cool. We just be friends." And then I think the guy like left him a note saying, "Hey, I still like you." Which you could have just like tossed the note and say, "Hey, man, this is not cool. I'm not attracted to you. Please stop." He went out and bought a gun. Went to the man's house and shot him. Like in the chest twice, then called the police on himself. Say, shot somebody. Like, come on. He eventually got out of jail, but still. Thank you, legit doctor. You are so correct. UCC is also a affirming denomination. I believe United Methodist Church is as well, and MCC. We probably should get more into that next time, like churches that are friendly. Life is lay. Life is lay. Life is lay. Why are you calling me? I can't talk to you and talk to them at the same time. Come on the stream. Hold on. What was the trans guy name that beat him and hung him on the face fence to die? Who are you talking about? Okay, Life is Late. Do you see me? Click the link, click the stream. Life is Late. Life is Late. Life is Late. Do you see the? Is there a delay? Life is Late. Life is Late. Life is Late. Do you see? Do you see the link right here? Click that and you can talk to me on here, not on my phone. I can't stop what I'm doing. You understand? Life is Late. April Ross, what you talking about? Okay, I'm trying to understand, y'all. Okay. That's who I'm talking about. That's Brandon Tina, April. That's who I was talking about. Did you miss when I mentioned that? They were in Wyoming. He was dating this girl, and Brandon went to jail, and they put him in the women's section. And then his girlfriend was like, "Why are you over in the women's section?" And she was like, "Well, because I was born a woman, but I'm going to have the surgery." And then the brothers found out, and they raped and killed him. And then the two men tried to say the other one killed her, but the when they had the trial in the appellate court, they were like, "We don't care which one of y'all say who killed her. Y'all both should go to jail for life." So they're in jail for life. They're never gonna get out. Life is Late. Do you understand what I need you to do? I need you to click this link, and then I can talk to you here. I can't talk to you on my phone and talk to you. Are you not able to do that? Huh? I'm confused. Click this link, Life is Late, that I put in the chat. Then I can speak to you here. I can't speak to you and be on here at the same time. Yeah, it's called Boys Don't Cry. It's really good. The lady who played Brandon Tina got an award. And that's what I wanted to get into. We wanted to do another one. We wanted to get into. She mad at you, but she can't talk to me. I mean, she doesn't have to. You or her don't have to show your face. I just need to be able to hear you, because I feel like we're not getting to what. Yeah, I did talk to Matthew Shepard. Were you late, April? What were you doing? I just talked about Matthew Shepard. I talked about him before I talked about Brandon Tina. Remember, you came in late. Life is Late. Click the link. Do you see the link? Lord. It's Matthew Shepard. What do you mean masculine genitive? What do you mean by that?
Hello?
Life is Late.
Hello?
Is this Life is Late?
This is Life is Late. How y'all doing?
I'm doing good. Why are you not clicking the link in the chat?
I don't know hell how to do it. Should I go back over there?
Yes.
Okay. But I don't want y'all to see me. I ain't got
no, I don't have you can decide to show yourself or not. You don't have to show yourself.
Okay. Okay, I'll go back to the chat. I'll get the link.
Okay, all right.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Okay, she's coming back to the chat. She's gonna come on, but you can't see her. I said, you don't have to show us yourself. We're just trying to figure out what's going on. Lord. Why do I feel like we need to get some popcorn or something? Legit doctorate. Did Life is Late come back on? Well, April, mostly what you missed was kind of like me lecturing. I did ask questions. This is the real. Yeah, Matthew Shepard was a gay guy. He got attacked from coming from a gay bar. Legit doctor, what do you mean feminine genitive? What is that? What does that mean? I don't get it. You're welcome, BB. He was waiting for Life is Late. Okay, here is Life is Late, y'all. Be respectful. Okay, this is about her family member. Okay.
Hey.
Life is Late.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
What's going on, everybody?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I was trying to keep my sister here, but I think she got a little upset with me, but I didn't care.
Oh, okay.
I was just talking,
I was just telling her again after this.
Yeah, I'll call her back and tell her I'm sorry, but I'm trying to figure some things out. Okay, we've always known. Am I talking too fast?
Yeah, you see, let her know. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, we've always known that she was gay. We could tell, but she tried to dress like a girl, all of that. But we've always known, and that goes back to the church stuff. Okay, it goes back to the church stuff. They put a stigma, on gay people. It's more easy to be gay now than it was back then. But then she ended up getting married. She ended up having 5 children. But after she had the 5 children, she divorced her husband. Huh? I'm sorry.
Are her children grown?
Her children are grown.
Are her children grown?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. 4 of her children are grown. She has one that's 16 now.
Okay. And they're still at home with her?
They're still at home with her. And
is she still married to her husband?
No, she divorced him. And then she married a woman.
Him.
And married a woman.
She married a woman.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, let's take that back.
The daughter
divorced her husband. She divorced her husband of the father of the 4 kids. She got with another man, had her youngest son. After her and the dad of the youngest boy broke up, then she turned around and she started dating a woman, which she married. Can you hear me?
So she's still with this woman. So she's still with this woman.
She's still with this
married.
woman. Now, the family does not.
With her. Okay.
Okay. So the family doesn't have a problem with her dressing like a guy, being with a woman. We don't have any problems. I have a 15-year-old that is lesbian. She came out to me. So I can't judge my sister or my daughter or anyone. That's not why I'm here. I'm not here to judge. But when you turn around and you tell me and the other family, well, yeah, I'm the king and y'all should call me king. I got a problem with that. I have a problem.
Oh.
Because like I told her.
Okay, go ahead.
Like I told her, I will call you Regina. She has changed her name to Latrice. I even asked her that. I said, if you want to be a man, why don't you change your name to a man's name? You done went from one woman's name to another woman's name. And I just told her, you're confused. Yeah. You're a little confused. And now that you come out the closet and you know that this is readily acceptable in our society, you're running crazy. You're running crazy with it. And if you want me to call you a king, if you want to, well, if you think you're if you're a king in your mind, then your actions should show that you're a king. Because I have my perception of what a king is. So if you want me to call you king, then you put it down like you're a king. But a king is not going to be running all over, just because, now you went from a woman, from a woman to a man, and acting like you selling your wild oats. Hell no. Because that's not what a king does. And she gets upset with me because I put her in her place. And then as a woman,
are you the oldest?
Huh?
Are you the oldest?
I'm the middle fool. I'm the outspoken one. Everybody tries to, no, it is not old. You put her in her place. I respect who she is. If this is what you want to do, I'm cool with it. But don't come with this, oh, I'm a king and I'm this and I'm that. Like I told her, I said, why don't you have a sex change? Why don't you find a name that suits you that's a man's name and change your driver's license?
What does she say?
She gets angry with me and walks off. And then she tells the other family.
You asked her, why don't you have a top surgery or change your name legally?
I have told her, look, you want to be a man? You want to be a man? Then get a penis. If you want to be a man, then I said, really, you can never be a man. But if you want to perpetrate that, then get yourself together as a man. If you want to be acknowledged as a man, get your driver's license changed. Get your social security number changed. I don't even know if you can't you change your birth certificate? I don't know. But
you actually can change your gender on your birth certificate. It's a legal way to do that, but it's hard.
But my thing is, I just think, Kim, that she's just excited to be out of the closet at this particular point.
Oh, okay.
At this particular point.
Do you think because she's heard that men in society are, because it seems like men kind of get a pass with, oh, you can have as many women as you want and date around.
Yeah, but see,
that's,
you can get
in her mind, that's what a man does. And so she's doing that now, now I'm
yeah, exactly. I'm the shit. But like I told her, you can deal with that in the society. But when you step to me, you got to step correct because I'm a heterosexual woman. And if you're going to be called king, quote unquote, then your actions ought to speak louder, or your words and your actions should speak louder than anything. And she gets angry with me, Kim, and it's okay. I still love her. But when you come to me.
What does she say when she gets angry?
Oh,
does she
tells
completely
me,
walk away? Or does she don't understand me?
Huh? Well, she's just the crazy one. That's what she says. Oh, sis is just the crazy one. No, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm just coming to you as a heterosexual woman that has an idea of what a king is, and you're not acting like it. You acting like one of these street punks, sowing your wild oats, and you don't have anything to sow it with. So what you're doing is you're looking at these little boys and these men out here, and you think that is what being a king is. No, it's not. If you're really going to go there, let's be real. And she says, I'm the crazy one. I just laugh at her. I say, you're damn right, I'm crazy. But I'm going to tell you what's right in my eyes. And I have a problem.
You said she already changed her name?
No. She just been out the closet, I'll say almost 2 years, okay?
2 years, okay.
2 years.
Has she ever gone to therapy? You think
she's never been to therapy?
Has she ever gone to therapy?
I told her that. I said, you know what, Regina? I said, you got the wrong perception of a real man. I say, you need to go somewhere and you need to sit down. You need to talk and really understand what a real man is. I don't feel like she'll ever know. But if you want to be in this world of being gay and you want to be a man, then you need to find somebody as a man that can teach you something. Because just putting on male clothes don't make you a man. And see, the other family members, they'll see her coming and they'll say something. Then I go off on them because I'm like, why? Don't say nothing to me. Say it to her. I do. But you want to be the gigolo, king, big daddy, pimp. Not in my world. Because I'm going to set you straight. It's not going to happen. And I have a problem with it. And I've always told her, I have a problem. And I did tell her, I'm on live with a friend of mine. We're talking about, your community. I said, and you know, I have a problem with calling you king. Do you want to talk? Do you want to go on there? I said, because I'm having a problem. Well, I don't have a problem with it. Well, I do. And if you're going to come around me, I don't want, you to come by and see me and you still, know how I feel. And then I know how you feel. That's causing a wedge. Act what you say you are. And running from one and then married too. Does a real king do that? You done married a woman, but does a real king, if you're going to be a man, have a wife and then running around, screwing around with other women? That's not a king in my eyes.
Oh my God. He thinks that Regina King has a really bad perception of what a man is. And
I tell her that, Kim. I tell her that. I'm sorry. Let me see your transcript. I'm sorry. But I have a problem with it because she does not have a perception of what a real man is. She doesn't. But I'm a real woman.
Are there any Are there any men in your family that actually could talk to her that are like good men or good role models?
No, because they out doing what they, I have a brother that's a deacon, but he talks about her like a dog. I remember when she used to do this. I said, you talking about you a deacon and you talking about her like a dog. Why don't you just have a time where you can sit down with her and open that book you reading in your lap and explain to her? Explain to her.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's what, I just get upset because they talk about her. I don't let them talk to me that much because I'm like, if you got something to say, then you need to say it to her.
Mm-hmm. I think what is happening, and this is just from hearing what you're saying, she had, like you said, I just asked you, you had good role models in your family. You said not. But she obviously looked at them and started doing what they're doing. And I think,
Exactly.
and the thing is, with a person who needs therapy, they don't want to hear. That's why she says, "Oh, you're crazy," and she leaves because you actually are telling her the truth. However, I'm wondering also, how are you saying these things to her? Is that also making it more controversial
I actually,
or
no, it's
combative?
not. It's when she says, "Call me king." The rest of them, my other sister that's above her, she said, "I'm not calling you no king. You Regina. Get out of my face with that." So what I try to do is I say, check this out. I don't go off on her like I'm going off now. I'm just angry. I'm a little angry, but I try to sit her down and I try to tell her what you're doing is not cool. It's not man-like. It's not showing king qualities. I understand that, April. I understand that. I approached my sister with a lot of love, more love than the Christians in my family. But the thing of it is, being a Christian, there are things that the Bible says about it, but it doesn't mean that I like what they're doing, but I love them. And I love my sister. And I don't Bible beat nobody because I'm a sinner saved by grace. So, I do come at her in love, but I want her to know this is what the Bible says. You've been raised in the church. This is what the Bible says, but I'm not going to tell you, oh, you're this or you're that, or you're sinning. I'm not going to Bible beat her. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to do it because I've been Bible beat with having a child out of wedlock and a pastor's child. So why would I browbeat her about being a lesbian? Why would I browbeat her with the Bible? And my 15-year-old has come to me and told me she was a lesbian. So no, April, I don't, approach people. I approach her with the word, but if she knows the word and she still does what she's doing, that's between her and God. That ain't got nothing to do with me. But I show her more love than most of the family members do because they shun her. They shut, they just.
Oh wow! And what I'm thinking is happening is that after they reject her and say no, and then you say what you say, she just walks off because she's hearing no, and then I'm not being accepted, not hearing that. Hey, I actually need to do some steps to be this person that I want to be.
But see, I feel like they're being. What can I say? They're not being real with her. They just don't bother with it and say, "Oh no, this, that, and the other." But I try to explain to her as a heterosexual woman, and she wants to be a man. These are the things that you should do and ways you should act. And you are not acting that way. And she gets upset with me. And she says, "Oh, you just a crazy one in the family."
I think this is the thing, though. You're talking to her. This is the thing. You are talking to her as and I forgot to put this term in there. It's called cisgender.
See, I know nothing about that.
Cisgender means the sex that you were assigned at birth, that you are mentally the same gender too. So if I was born a female, then in my brain and my heart, I'm still female or I'm still a woman.
Okay.
So you are a cisgender heterosexual woman talking to a transgender, possibly a transgender man, and you are not communicating. And in her mind, in his mind, he feels like, oh, you're a woman telling me as a man what to do and not being supportive. He don't want to hear that because he's looked at all the men in his life and they acted a certain way. And so obviously my older middle sister doesn't know what she's talking about.
Yeah.
It is also something.
And I didn't look at it now that I know, you know, that, what is it, gender sister, what is it called?
Like for women like you and me, we're cisgendered heterosexual women.
Okay, see, I knew nothing about that.
Yeah. So like gender is man and woman.
Yes.
I'm a woman.
Yes.
But I was assigned a female sex at birth. They are matching up.
Okay.
In my mind and my heart and on the outside, it's all woman. But for your sister, in her brain and heart, it says man, but she don't look like it on the outside. It still looks like a woman. She's transgender. She's a transgender man. Or at least it sounds like she's trying to be a transgender man.
But see, I heard you say, but I think that's coming as a woman talking to a man, because that's what she feels she is in her head. Don't you think that in her mind, she should be able to listen at what a woman has to say and understand it?
But I think what is happening is her brain is processing it different. She doesn't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Yeah. Like, I think this is the thing. I wonder if let me ask the question. Do you think your sister would see a psychologist or a therapist if you say, can you and me go to a therapist?
I would go with her.
Because I'm trying to understand. You wanted me to call you king. Because I need to understand why. Because I don't understand. And
it has been brought up.
Can me and you go? Don't even include the other ones. To say, hey, can me and you go talk to somebody? Because I'm trying to understand why you keep wanting me to call you king.
We had a meeting on her. Do you understand me?
What?
Yes. Well, she needs therapy. Yes, she needs therapy.
No.
So I said, well, if y'all feel she needs therapy, what are you talking about? An intervention or to talk to her about it or whatever? I said, if you guys want to do an intervention, we can. Nobody stepped out of that boat to walk that water but me.
Oh.
And when it was time to have the intervention, guess who was there? Me and her. So I told her, I said, the family thinks you need to have therapy. You know, you're just coming out the closet. You're marrying. You have your children. You have men issues. You're mad. I said, I feel like you're angry because you didn't get along with men. So now you're going over to women. And then you always had gay tendencies, but couldn't bring it out. Now you're bringing it out and you're going crazy. So you need.
You said she was going crazy.
Oh, yeah, Lord. She's going crazy.
That might have been the trigger word. No, that might have been a trigger word though. You said, "Oh, I think you're going crazy." That's the last.
Well, you know. Well, I told her. This is what I told her. I said, we've always known you were gay since we were young. I said, and you got married, you had your children, then you got in a relationship with another man, and you had your youngest son, and you got hurt from men, and now that's pushing you into being with women. I said, there's something going on. You need to just sit down with someone in therapy and talk. I will go with her. I have no problem with that. I know what a couch looks like. I'm not afraid to go to a psychiatrist. Been there. I don't mind taking her. I don't mind going with her, but I don't want her out here. Did
you say Regina or did you say King? Let's go to therapy together, or did you say I'm willing to take you to therapy?
I call her sis.
Okay, you call her sis. That's
yes.
Yeah, okay.
If I introduce her, I say this is my sister Regina. Or now that she went to Latrice, this is my sister Latrice. I address her as my sister. That's what I address her as. My sister.
She never said address me as your brother.
No, she's never said that. But she got this. I'm a king, and call me king. Excuse me. Not in my world. Sorry.
Okay.
Because your attitude don't fit. Lord, we're going on 2 hours and 20 minutes. Thank you guys for listening and being my therapist.
Thank you for sharing this.
Thank you for listening. It has bothered me ever since she came out. It has bothered me. Not because she came out, but her ways and her actions.
Okay.
That's what bothers me.
I'm trying to think I'm trying to think about what can I say to you, or where can I
but now that I know it's from a heterosexual woman to what should I call a lesbian? A lesbian.
Well, right now,
woman that wants to be a man.
She's acting like a masculine lesbian, which we would say stud.
Yeah, she's a stud.
Some people would say stud.
Yeah, she's a stud. She dresses like a boy.
She's okay with but is she okay with the word stud? Because not every masculine lesbian likes the word stud. Is she okay with the word?
She's okay with that. She's fine with that. You know.
So it sounds like she's a stud, and she possibly could be transgender. But this is the thing: if you're gonna be like you said, if you want to be called king, and she's saying stuff like she's not gonna have top surgery, she's not gonna change her name, then obviously that sounds like you're gonna be a lesbian. You wanted me to call you king,
and then her actions are not. Her actions is not of a man, of the kind of man that I know. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. And see, that might be another thing too, because like you're saying, you're going it as
a woman.
I'm a cisgender heterosexual woman, and this is how I perceive men. But in her head, like I said, in her brain, it's not.
She's a thug
that way.
Okay, I'm sorry. Maybe I need to change the way I talk to her. I try to just explain it. I'm not like you at all. I wish I was. You're really cool. You're really laid back. Mm-hmm. You put it out there. I'm one that I'm hand motions, trying to get my point across, trying to make sure she understands, trying to be real when the rest of the family is not being real. And that, and
she's probably taking that as conversational. And since you're talking and they're not saying anything, it's like, oh, you're the mouthpiece for the whole family. That may be what she's thinking about. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And I am, because they want to talk to me about it, but I'm like, talk to her. She's a grown woman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to call her. She's, but she's grown. She's 37 years old. She's grown.
She's 37. Okay.
But if I'm going to call her king, she needs to have ways and actions, and you need to do what it takes to be a king. I'm just not going to call you king because you want to be called king by your wife, or you want to be king by your women. I'm not your wife, and I'm not your woman.
Does his woman?
That dumb broad calls him king.
The women in his life that he dates, do they call him king?
Yes, that dumb broad he married calls him king. I know a couple of his little side pieces. We're at the store. We're at Walmart. We go down one aisle. One girl she's messing with. I'm sorry. Hey, king. Hey, how you doing? Then we go over to the produce. It's another piece, a side piece he's messing. And I looked at her and I was like, you just, Okay, well, I can't say on here what I said. I cannot say that because
Okay, I
somebody,
know.
somebody would say, "Oh, you're gay bashing" and all of that, and I don't want nobody to think I'm gay bashing.
No.
But in essence, I
This
said
is
you just out
suggestion.
doing it.
Yeah.
I
This
was
is what
floored.
I
Do
would
you
suggest.
understand me? I was floored. We go
Yeah,
from
I
one
mean,
out to the vegetables.
Did you ask the question? Did you go to the wedding?
Hell no. Oh no. I didn't go.
Why not?
Mm-mm. I did not go because
Why?
I felt, which I told her, I said, this here is not going to last. And I'm sorry, I might have been wrong. But I said, this right here is not going to last. I said, first of all, she got issues with her sexuality. You got issues with yours. You guys are just coming out. You really don't understand. I understand you may feel like you're in love, but this is not cool. Now, my middle sister between me and her, she went. She wasn't going at all either. I said, you know what? You go. She said, well, if you're not going, I said, no, you go. I said, but she understands where I'm coming from. Did I buy a gift? Yes, I did. I bought a house, a housewarming gift. I helped her wife buy her dress. I bought the tuxedos for her sons. And I did cook food for her because they got married at the courthouse, so they had the reception at a hall. I cooked, trying to be supportive. But as far as going, no, I didn't. And then we had an issue with that because another sister of mine's son got married, and I did go to his wedding. So there was an issue with that. I'm like, y'all just popping up all in the family. But I still love you, but I'm not family. And it's crazy.
Okay.
Maybe I need therapy.
Okay. This is
no, really, because
therapy is good.
It's getting. I mean, I've had therapy, but nothing like this. But it's like I'm trying to just keep the middle kid. I'm trying to keep the peace. You know what I'm saying?
See, that actually happens to a lot of middle children. They're always the referee between the siblings because they're in the middle and they want you to pick a side, or you're the one who's supposed to solve the problem.
Because there's two above me,
it makes it
and
hard.
There's two below me. So it's 5 children. It's 2 boys above me, 2 girls below me. I'm the middle kid. So I try to keep the balance. I try to keep the peace. But like I told them, you guys got to do something because, I mean, if she doesn't want to do any of this, it's fine. It's fine with me. I'm just not calling you king. It's not going to happen.
Okay. This is what
you guys
I would
thanks
suggest.
for listening so much. Thank you. I took up all the time.
Okay. No problem.
But I love my sister, Kim. I love my sister.
I know you love your sister.
I love my sister. But there's some things that I don't like. And I'm going to speak on it. I don't care if none of the family talks to me. I don't care if she doesn't talk to me. I'm trying to tell you what's right. And if you don't want to listen, like I told her, if you want to continue to do this, don't bring none of your extra women. If it's not your wife, don't bring your ex. She came to my house with an extra side piece. I said, I'm sorry, but y'all got to leave. Y'all got to go. And she says, well, why do we got to go? Because you got a wife at home, fool. You're not coming up in here and I got to look at your wife and I see your side pieces. That's not happening on my watch.
Yeah.
But everybody else thinks it's cute and it's cool, and it's not. They just overlook it. My sister under me, she just grins. I said, you know what? Why the hell do you grin and then turn around and talk shit? Why? I said, you about as phony as the rest of them. You need to talk to Gina because she's doing this and she's, man, come on. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry, but I am conflicted.
No,
I got to deal with my sister. I got to deal with the family.
Other people This is what I would suggest for you, though. I know you can't talk about this issue. This is just my educational sociological opinion. I think you yourself need to go to therapy to address one, being a middle child and having to navigate this refereeing you're doing between your family members. And then you can tell the therapist, like, hey, this is what's going on. This is what an issue I'm having. I'm having because it sounds like I'm having a communication problem with my family. That's one. And then two, I'm having a communication problem, especially with my youngest sibling, who I think also needs, who is a lesbian, but who's possibly transgender. And
now
I think
everybody's looking at me. They're looking at me like, oh, well, you haven't called. Because, I call and check up on my people. That's just me. I call, I check how y'all doing. I call my nieces and nephews. I call, and now I'm like standoffish because I don't want to hear the mess. Everyone knows how I feel. And I feel that once you know how I feel, I have nothing else to say. Mm-hmm. If I come to you straight one-on-one and tell you how I feel, after that, I'm going to let your actions control my actions. And if you still going to be shady, then I'm leaving you alone. That's just me.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
Mm-hmm. I totally understand that. And I think what it is that you see what needs to be done. Like, you're kind of like me. You see something, it needs to be done, and you're going to do it, and you're going to be consistent. But everybody else wants to just do what they've been doing and not do anything about it. But it's like, it's not going to solve anything.
It's not going to solve anything.
Because sooner or later, she's going to bring a side piece to a family event, and the wife's going to be there too.
And I'm out. And I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm sorry. I'm gone. If I look up and see my sister bring a side piece and her wife is there, I'm telling y'all right now, Pam's gonna get her cane and she gonna get in her car and I'm coming home and I'll eat at home and drink at home and listen to Snoop Dogg at home. Period. Because I'm not gonna sit up there and smile at that foolishness. That's foolishness. That's condoning what she's doing. You're acting like just one of these random Negroes out here on the street. And I have no respect for you when you do that. And I've told her, none. Okay, let me, maybe I need a drink.
Yeah. I don't want to encourage alcoholism, but you might want to take a drink, take a breath.
I am. I done cooked my dinner. I'm getting ready to have me some Parmesan and Coke. Huh?
What did you cook?
I cooked smothered turkey wings, green beans with ham hocks and potatoes, and I made some mashed potatoes.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Mm-hmm. I'm greedy. And I'm gonna lay here and drink and shit. My refrigerator calls me at night. I might be going crazy. It says come and eat.
Oh, I don't. It might be the quarantine, but no, I don't think so.
Yeah, my refrigerator talks to me.
But before we go, but I think you needed to talk about this, and I think we were happy to listen because we're also having similar family situations.
And I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you guys. All of you guys, I love you. Thanks for listening. It's just been piling up and piling up. And I'm tired. I'm tired of family. I'm tired of her doing what she's doing, and they want me to accept it, and I'm just not. Where
do you stay? Can you text me? Because we're about to get off.
You say, where do I stay?
Text me where you stay. No, you just text me on my phone where you live so I can find a resource for you to go
Okay.
talk to someone?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think first you need self-care because you've been doing a lot. And
Yeah.
I think once
I'm
you get
52 years
your
old.
communication on
And
your
this
list,
started when we were
huh?
children. I'm 52 years old.
Okay.
And this
Okay.
started when we were kids, when folks
So
started noticing it. And they would come to me and say, we think Gina might be a little sweeter. This, that. And I'm saying, sweet how? What do you mean?
mhm,
Well, I think she might be a little gay. And I'm like, well,
mhm.
ask her. So when I did, because I confronted her when she was 15. And I asked her, I said,
Oh, okay.
are you gay? Do you like men? Oh, I like men. I said, okay.
Okay. Hey,
Okay.
life is play.
Yes.
Let's continue this conversation offline so I can give you the resources
Okay. Love you guys. Thank
that
you
you
so much
need
for
the next
listening.
step. Love you too. Thank you for sharing.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Okay. All right, y'all. Oh Lord. Let's keep life is lay and I love Christ in prayer. And I'm gonna go I'm gonna go find some resources from her. Please, and I've also posted resources of different links of different things in the chat. In the description. So please look at that information. And if you have any other information, a question that needs to be answered, and if I don't know it, I'm gonna go find it because that's just the teacher in me. Uh, Please email me the question, and then I will try to answer it. If I don't know it, then I will find where the resource you can get some help. Okay. Before you go, I want to show you guys something. This is just for y'all. It's a movie clip that I really want to show y'all because it is so important. Okay. And then I'll let you guys go. So let's do share screen. Okay, tab. Okay. 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 All right. So let me show you the tab. This is from a series called Pose. And I thought this was a very good situation that we really need to think about in regards to our kids. This is season 1, episode 1. This is Damon. He is a young African American teenager, and he loves to dance. And he comes home and his parents have a problem. Oh no! Dang it!
We talked about you blasting music. Where'd you come from? I was at school, sir. Guess where I was? I went into town, met up with the fellas for a drink at O'Malley's. When I arrived, they were having a laugh. You remember remember Todd? Worked down the factory with me. He saw you skipping out that dance studio in ballet shoes. And I'm thinking, not my son, because we discussed it. And I said, no dance class.
I can explain how.
Yeah, and how do you explain this? Found it under your bed. I told your mother. You're too gentle with him. He's going to grow up a sissy. I tried toughening you up. She kept saying, creatives need space to explore. So I let her raise you. And this is how you repay my kindness? What? Speak up. You're 17. You're a man, all right? So say it.
I'm a dancer. And I'm gay. I'm trying to make something out of myself. I want to get out of this town and be somebody.
Oh, so I'm a nobody because I never left? You don't know what it's like to be a man? It's a struggle. I want him out of my house. You're dead to me.
How could you betray me this way? I went against your father's words, supported your creativity, and you bring filth into my home. And you know the Bible condemns homosexuality, and God will punish you by giving you that disease.
But I'm not a sinner.
You are. If you love me, you will go before him, ask for forgiveness, and never engage in foul behavior. Understood? That's how it's gonna be?
Okay, good. Okay, y'all. Okay. You're very welcome, Life is Lay. Yeah, I wanted to. This is maybe we need to do another discussion like this one, this time centered on, because I didn't even get into like how the LGBT community has fought for their own rights, how they've impacted the arts, dealing with the family dynamic. Like I said, he in that instance, Damon is kicked out of his house. And that is still common today. Still common today. And when I first started watching this TV series, if you have Netflix, please look at season 1 and season 2. It actually gives a much better representation of Blacks and Latinos who are LGBT, because they don't necessarily, they're fighting a two-front battle. They're fighting the white LGBT. They're fighting, sometimes, I didn't even get into the AIDS, HIV epidemic. I didn't even get into that. But they're also fighting homophobia, transphobia, and homelessness. And that's why a lot of them refer to themselves mother, daughter, father, son, because they had to make their own community because their families tossed them out. Okay. I'm sorry, Life is Like, I didn't mean to do that. We're gonna talk afterwards. I'm glad you wouldn't, April. We should never think this. Yeah, it's based off the documentary called Paris is Burning. That's a lot. That's also where we get a lot of our gay lingo from that a lot of us don't realize we're using, like read, trade, receipts, throwing shade. We get it from there. And some of the people who were in Paris is Burning documentary, they are actually consultants on Pose. And one thing about Pose, all the actors are part of the LGBTQIA community, including these stars, the actors, the director, the producer, and the consultants. So that's very, very good. So definitely check that out on Netflix if you have it. Okay. So thank you all for listening, paying attention. If you have any questions, please email me or send me a message on Facebook Messenger. Please keep Life is Lay and I Love Christ in your prayers. Okay. Tomorrow, I believe Daryl, you still here? He is having, I believe, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. He's going to have his live. Daryl, you still here? I can't remember what you said it was about. Okay. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a very good night. Thanks for being with me on here so long. And like I said, if you have people in your life who are LGBTQIA and you come in late, please go back to the beginning. You might not see the chat, but you'll see the information. If you are LGBTQIA and you're tired of answering questions to your straight family members or friends, share this with them. Like, share. Please hit the subscribe button, the bell, all notifications. The more you share it, the more often you will get the notifications because YouTube goes by an algorithm and my videos will pop up. Okay? Talk to y'all later. Bye.